Iran has launched a missile barrage into Israel, targeting its population centres, while US President Donald Trump has been calling for Iran to surrender. Joining us live now is politics professor at La Trobe University, Professor Joseph Camilleri. Professor, thanks so much for your time. We're clearly in dangerous times. What's your analysis of the situation unfolding right now between Israel and Iran?
Well, it's a bit grim. We're between a rock and a hard place. Israel's a rock and Iran is a hard place. And Trump, a bit unpredictable. He is perhaps the potential volcanic eruption between the rock and the hard place. So it's unpredictable. But one thing is clear as of now, nothing good will come of it. So the best we could possibly hope for is a ceasefire in the not too distant future. It doesn't sound like it's going to be today or tomorrow. That's the grimness of the situation, and it affects not just those two countries, but the entire Middle East, especially should the escalation continue and begin to involve other neighboring countries.
So what options do you expect would be on the table and under consideration right now by the US president?
Well, he's called for surrender, but he hasn't explained what surrender means. So it's impossible for Iran, even if it were so disposed, to know what that's supposed to mean. Surrender to what? Accept what? What we need is a ceasefire proposal with certain things to follow. Now, we need to reconstruct briefly what has been happening. We had negotiations going on between the United States and Iran about a nuclear deal. They were proving difficult, but an outcome not impossible, and the US president was saying that it would remain possible right to the end. Now, one interpretation is that Israel did not like the sound of that, and its intervention primarily was motivated by a wish to prevent a deal being struck between the US and Iran, because it didn't like the sound of what that deal would look like. That's one possible interpretation. Another is that this was just a convenient reason for Israel to inflict maximum damage on Iran, and apart from doing damage to some of its nuclear facilities, having a go at some of its military facilities. The problem with that is that Iran has substantial military capability. And we've seen in the case of the Ukraine war how a smaller country with less military capabilities, in this case Ukraine, could hold up a Russian military advance despite the awesome military capability of Russia. So it's already proving the case that Iran has considerable capacity to inflict damage on Israel and its population, civilian population, just as Israel has in relation to Iran. And this will be no good for either of them. And it certainly won't be any good for the region, which is already in flames over the Palestinian-Israel conflict, and particularly the tragedy in Gaza. So what we need is for saner heads to prevail, and for the international community, including Europe and the United States and other parts of the world, to apply maximum restraint on what these two might be contemplating doing in the event that this continues to escalate later this week and beyond that in the weeks to come.
Yes, the whole world is watching. Professor Joseph Camilleri, appreciate your insights. Thank you.